All right, we are back. Loose Cannons Fan Friday. You know who I am. You know who our sponsors are. We're hanging out with Trevor Sikkema, PFF. What's up, Trevor?
What up, guys? Always great to be on here. I truly never know what we're about to get into, the
Mm-mm.
conversations that we're about to have, the things that are going to come out of you guys' mouth. But, you know, I like to live on the edge. I like to live dangerously. That's why I love being on this podcast. So it's good to be here, guys.
Yeah, listen, man. Buck Nation is hurting right now.
Yeah,
You
we
know,
Are
are.
they?
we put this little weird loss to the Washington football team. We kind of put it behind us, but you're the Trevor Sikkema. You're the guy who used to break down the freaking film. You understand some of this stuff. How do the Bucs offense get back on track? Like, what's going on here? How do we get back on track? What are they going to do against the Giants? It's going to fix everything, and we're all going to be happy again.
So I remember last year, right? Middle of the year, Tampa's kind of struggling. They're in a lull, right? I think that they lost to the Rams, they lost to the Chiefs, they were losing to the Vikings, and it just looked like the wheels were falling off. Like it looked like this team was maybe even not even going to make the playoffs, be a one and done at best, and then everything just turned around. It all started to click. The chemistry started to come together, and it kind of reminded us what happens and why this is really, I know I sometimes say this sarcastically, but a week to week lead. Like you can look bad one week and you can totally turn it around the next week, especially when you have the talent to do so. And what I would tell Bucs fans is relax. There's no, like, I understand that people are freaking out about the results of obviously going into the bye week with a loss, coming out of the bye week with another loss. It's never great. You don't want to come out as what seemed to be as unmotivated or as unfocused as the Bucs really were. They just really weren't pinpoint when they came out against Washington football team. But Washington plays Tampa tight. They played them tight in the playoffs last year, and I think everything's going to be fine. You look at this team, and they're dealing with a bunch of injuries. Obviously, they didn't have a lot of key guys, not just on the defensive side and the secondary, but on the offense as well. No Antonio Brown, no Rob Gronkowski. I think those are two major factors here. And I think you saw him struggle. You saw Tom Brady really not push the football down the field when he should have, which was odd. But it's not like it's something that was a catastrophic issue. It's not like it's something that can't get fixed. And where I understand that might be part of why Bucs fans are frustrated, because you say to yourself, you are Tom Brady, you have Mike Evans, you have Chris Godwin, you have a good offensive line. How are you struggling like this? It just happens. Like perfection in the NFL is just something that's not always or not often, if ever, achieved. And so you're going to have slip ups. It's weird that they're back to back the way that they were before the bye week and after the bye week. But in all honesty, man, it's not anything that they can't just kind of turn around and fix. Now, are you worried a little bit? Sure, but I wouldn't be pushing panic buttons or anything. This team still has the makeup to be a lot better than they were over the last couple of games and be that potential Super Bowl team at some point. And they just, it's on them at this point. Turn around and make that happen.
Trevor, can this offense work without having a speed threat? It seems like when AB's out or Scotty's out, or we don't have a guy who can get deep quick. And Mike Evans is a beast, Godwin is a beast, but neither of them are speed guys.
Right.
It seems like it stalls a bit.
Well, I think the answer to that question is like, can it work? Yes. Does it help when you have a speed guy? Of course it does, right? When you look at our PFF grades right now, the two top graded receiving grades on the Buccaneers are Rob Gronkowski and Antonio Brown, right? Those two guys have been out, and there's just no doubt about it. I mean, when you look on third downs alone, those money downs, Antonio Brown and Rob Gronkowski are basically right there as the 1 and 2 for the Buccaneers. So not just overall are they really missing these two guys, but when it really matters most, when your back's against the wall, when Brady needs a player to go to, these guys, it's not just like they're not there to produce. They're not there at all. And so that's a big part of their equation. And yeah, I mean, what you mentioned there, not having that speed kind of element, we've known how good Antonio Brown is getting that early separation, making those throwing windows bigger, picking up those third and short situations, really extending drives. And, with him not being there, that's really important. And for this game here against the Giants, their linebacker group is not great at coverage. And it's a great week for Rob Gronkowski to come back and play, because I think that you're going to be able to see him step in right away and have a major contributing role and something that really continues to affect the defense. So to your original question, can it work? Yes. Does it help when you have the speed options? Of course it does. When you can send a guy deep and he's a legitimate threat, whether it is Antonio Brown or Scotty Miller, or whether you're sending Chris Godwin deep or whatever it is, that opens up so much of what goes on underneath. That opens up so many different sail concepts that you have overloading zone, or when you've got deep crossers coming from the opposite side of the field, it opens up that time to give them separation when you're throwing it to them on the sideline. And so when you have speed threats that can stretch the field vertically, that's what every team strives to do when they sign guys who have a lot of deep speed potential. But it can survive without them. There's no doubt about it. It looks easier when they're in there. So it's just something they're working through. And it is one of many question marks where the answer to it for the Buccaneers is just get healthier and get these guys back on the roster.
I mean, speaking of get healthier, what terrifies me is the secondary is just slow. I guess we're going to get S&B back this week. The Giants have some weapons. They got Tony, who's been, I think a not a surprise necessarily, but has lived up to the hype. Saquon's likely going to be back this week healthy. And our secondary is still reeling quite a bit.
Yeah, the secondary is a big issue, right? And I know I'm not bringing any news coming on this podcast and saying that, but when you are as injured as Tampa is, I mean, that's a major problem. We're in an age where you can make a good argument that coverage is more important than pass rush, right? Because of how much teams are spreading the field with these 3 and 4 and sometimes even empty 5 wide receiver looks. And you're stretching that secondary really thin, and these quarterbacks are getting the ball out of their hands so quickly that sometimes pass rush doesn't even matter. And if you don't have the corners at the top, let alone the depth of corners to really be able to cover a lot of those options, you can sometimes be in trouble. The Giants are a team in theory where, yeah, like you say, you look at their wide receiver group and you say, okay, this should be a group of guys that could really be able to stretch a defense, but it hasn't exactly played out that way for the Giants. It's more of an in theory thing at this point. And they've been banged up at wide receiver. And obviously Saquon Barkley has still missed some time this year. So they also really have similar problem as the Bucs. They just haven't had a lot of their projected starters to be healthy. But even when that's the case, Daniel Jones just has not been the quarterback this season to really push the ball deep down the field. His average depth of target is, I think, 26th in the NFL. He's just not pushing the ball deep down the field. His big time throw rate, it's the same thing. He's just not taking these risks, these tight window throws, 15, 20 yards down the field. He's just not doing it nearly as much this year. And I think some of that has to do with the guys who have been in and out of the lineup. But I also think that it's not like Daniel Jones has really been this guy at other points in his career, and it just is not happening this time around. This is kind of who Daniel Jones is. And I know Bucs fans in the back of their head are thinking about when Daniel Jones made his first start when he came to games a couple of years ago. They know, I know, everybody knows this, but it is obviously it's a couple of years in the making. It's a different story. And in theory, the Bucs should be able to handle this Giants offense. It's just not a potent offense. And even Saquon Barkley, man, you've got the speed at linebacker to handle him. He's a fantastic running back, one of the best in the league, no doubt about it, when he's fully healthy. But that's why you drafted Devin White, right? To have that kind of speed against him if he's ever going to the flat where you can really track him down, or when they're running those outside zone concept runs where he's getting outside the tackle box, right? That's why Devin White's on the team. Same thing with Levante David. If he's doing something over the middle in the passing game, Levante David's known as a guy who can really shut him down there. And so it feels like everywhere you turn, there is a little bit of a Bucs counter, if not for a Giants counter, where the identity of what they want to do in their passing attack, like you mentioned, Stank, because they're not good at, or the Bucs just are so beat up at corner. I don't know if the Giants just have the game plan or the identity to be able to attack them the way that it would really make the Bucs vulnerable enough to not get a win.
Trevor, the Bucs are without Vita Vea for we don't know how long, right?
Right.
He's a big part of stopping the run, and he does help the edge rushers and the pass rushers get to the quarterback because he ties up blocks. He's basically a space eater. He just destroys the middle of the pocket. We don't have him this week, obviously. How much is that going to play into how Todd Bowles attacks the Giants, considering they can now run right up the middle because that big body is not there, and we haven't been able to get timely sacks that matter in terms of third downs and like creating distances on certain downs that help this team. We've allowed teams to kind of gash us the last few weeks on first and second down to where it's almost a given that they're going to convert on third. How does Todd Bowles adjust to that? And is that actually going to help the Bucs because now they have less of a gigantic, body in the middle, given how wild and how creative Todd Bowles can be with a guy like Devin White, for instance?
Yeah. So there's no replacing Vita Vea, right? I mean, like, he's a unicorn. What he's able to do, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, John Ledyard from Pewter Report highlighted a play from Vita Vea last week against Washington where he's lined up on the left shoulder of the center, and at the snap, just immediately fully crosses him over at 350 pounds just to get in the backfield and make that. Like, it's stupid. Like, it just absolutely in no world should happen. He is truly a one-of-one football player in this league. So you don't exactly replace Vita Vea. But I will say, Raheem Nunez-Roches, when it comes to that run defense, that clog up the middle kind of a player, he is good. That is his bread and butter. He is serviceable there. Now, I read that he showed up on the injury report for an ankle today, so that's not great. You got to hope that he goes in the game, because if he's not there, then you're really talking about being pretty thin on the interior defensive line. Thankfully, at least for this week, if you're a Bucs fan, thankfully, the Giants' interior offensive line is just not great. And I've got their lineup here, whether it's Billy Price, Will Hernandez, Escura, the left guard, the right guard, the center. I mean, none of those guys have a PFF grade above 55 for us. And this is a scale from 1 to 100. I mean, they have not played well this year. The Giants' offensive line is one of the lower tier, I think, bottom 20 offensive lines, or bottom 10, offensive lines in the NFL. And so you never want to lose Vita Vea because of what you mentioned there, Samer. I mean, what he does in his presence, how it affects giving Dominican Sue one-on-ones, giving Shaq Barrett one-on-ones, giving JPP one-on-ones, getting some freedom up the middle for guys like Devin White to blitz. All of that goes into the equation. And when you take Vita Vea out, objectively, all of those things get less effective, or you bet on them a little bit less. But if Nunez-Roches can go, I think that they still have a stout option, especially in run defense there. And it's just a matter of those guys on the edges, Jason Pierre-Paul and Shaq Barrett, just doing their thing. They got to get after it. They got to beat the tackles. And whether it's Andrew Thomas or Nate Solder, whoever it is, these guys can be beat. Andrew Thomas is having a better year than he had last year in his rookie year, which is great because he had an awful rookie year. But he's still susceptible. He's still susceptible to the better edge rushers in the NFL. And I think that they have every opportunity to still have success on the edges, even without Vita Vea. So that's kind of how I see the game plan of how you make up for them and what expectations you might have around.
Does having that body? Sorry, one last thing I have to follow up on it. Does not having that body in the way there, does that open up things for Todd Bowles to use a guy like Devin with a little bit more creativity, because now he has more of a rushing lane in there? Because as great as Vita is, he's a big body, and he tends to kind of, it seems like he almost gets in the way of some of our blitzing linebackers at times because he's so big, and you kind of bounce off of him if you get hip checked by him on accident. He's got a big ass. I mean, with all, with love, total love. I love Vita.
No, look, yeah, Vita's got his own gravitational pull, right? I mean, like, he's a massive dude that's in the middle there. But I wouldn't go as far to say as his work and what he's doing in there would be seen as a negative. I wouldn't say that like a 1 in and 1 out if you're trading him for Nunez-Roches. I don't think you would. I don't even think it's an impact enough to say like, oh, he, like, the size between Vita and Nunez-Roches is different to the point where Devin's going to have a little bit more space. I think that you would still rather have Vita clogging things up.
Really, Samer? Did you just?
I was honest, because he does take up a lot of space. You can see it could open up more lanes. Honestly, he's a big guy. Go ahead, Jay-Buc.
Go ahead, Jay-Buc.
So, Trevor, staying on the defense, and I know we've moved past this Washington game, but the really daunting moment for me during that game is the mere fact that the during Washington's last offensive possession, they possessed the ball for over 10 minutes. So my question to you is, who on the defense who really drastically needs to step up in order for the defense to take the next step? And we're not oblivious to the injuries to the secondary, but who is that one key player that you feel as though that needs to step up to propel this defense to where that they're capable of being?
And if you measure it up to that last drive for Washington, I mean, not to cop out, but I mean, the answer is everybody. I mean, you don't give up a 10, almost 11-minute drive without complete failure at multiple levels. At some points, it was the defensive line. At some points, it was the linebackers. At some point, like you mentioned, it was the secondary. I mean, you're talking about multiple offenders each point of the way to give up a drive like that. I mean, you're talking about a second half where Tampa really started to turn the tide, right? They started to score some points. They had momentum on their side. All they needed was a damn stop. That's it.
Yeah.
Just get a stop somewhere, literally anywhere in the drive. And they couldn't get it at any point. I mean, it's, I think Jason Pierre-Paul, man, he's playing through a lot, and I definitely get it. But like, I think that they need better play out of their edge there with Jason Pierre-Paul. He's an Iron Man. He's been an Iron Man for so many years, but the PFF grade has not been kind to him so far this year, and I think him playing through injuries is a big reason for that. I would have thought we would have seen a lot more of Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, at least a little bit more into the mix, sprinkling him in there. But that just hasn't been the case, and it seems like they're going to play their veterans right there. And you know what sucks about it is you got to sit here and you got to admit that you've got your veterans in the game to avoid that drive that we just had there, that we watched at the end of the game there with Washington, because you think to yourself, there's no way these veterans are going to give up that kind of a drive to really allow Washington to cap off that game and get away with a W. So when you have the veterans kind of failing in that regard, it means that, okay, maybe we've got to throw some extra bodies in there. I think that Devin White, of course, has got to step up big time. He's still got to up his play, especially when it comes to coverage. I know that Washington continually looked his way to attack him in that regard. Anytime he's coming downhill, you love him, you're impressed by him, but that is still an area of game that he still needs to improve. I think that him shoring up the middle of the field, I think, makes things a lot better. The secondary, it's just so, where do I put blame? Do I really want to put blame on corner 4, 5, 6 on this team because they're not hanging with Washington starters? It's so hard, but that's the reality they have there. And so it's just a gut check, man. And I don't mean to not name a singular player, but when it comes to really stepping up, getting off the field on third down, that was a total team failure last week, and it can't be something that's get repeated.
With the fact that Vita's not in there too, you'll probably see more JTS because the Bucs have used JPP in the middle at times, especially on pass rushing downs. So maybe this is a chance for us to see him, Shaq, and JPP all on the field at the same time. Maybe get after the quarterback
on pass rush downs, but not on run downs.
But that's what I'm saying. If the Bucs can win on first and second down, which they failed miserably the entire game last Sunday, that was the reason that last drive continued on. And like somebody said in the chat, they could have gone 200 yards and they would have scored. They would have still scored a touchdown. It didn't matter how long that field were. They were just going first and second down. They were winning. They're getting fucking 5-6 yards. Like that idiot kept telling us, 4 yards. You gotta get 4 and low with 4 yard. I mean, that should happen. But I feel like JPP comes into play with JTS next to him if they can win first and second down.
And I think they can afford. I think they can afford to be a little bit more creative because, like I said, Giants' offensive line ain't that good. So like if you start throwing a lot of stuff at him, I mean, like you're demanding a lot of different communication, whether it's green dog blitzes from linebackers, making sure like, hey, if you get the green light, man, go after the quarterback, go after the pocket. We don't really trust this offensive line to pick up late blitzers, pick up simulated pressures, creeper pressure, things like that, guys who might be coming in late. I think that that's a way that you really attack this Giants offensive line. And you got to make sure you contain Daniel Jones because I guess, he's got some mobility to him. So you can't just totally sell out in that regard. And when you do, you better make sure that you get him on the ground. But pressure is definitely a thing that affects Jones. You just got to make sure you're not breaking contain.
What really bothers me, I mean, I love Todd Bowles, but this defense is not the same without playing a good amount of press. And he clearly doesn't trust Pierre Desir,
right?
And Cockrell and these backup guys and D. Delaney to do that. And he did get more aggressive in the second half. He started to bring Devin, and we started to get to the quarterback. But it felt like they were still out of sync. Like towards the end of the game, they were bringing pressure, and they were forcing Heineke to get the ball out of his hands quickly. But the guys were playing so soft that it didn't make a fucking difference.
Right.
Like Dean was always, a yard and a half from the receiver, or Desir or whatever, or Delaney. It made it too fucking easy. That aggressive style, I'd rather get beat over the top several times and just play that soft, bend, don't break defense, because we just were bending and breaking, on a consistent basis out there. And I feel like we haven't played We lost 2 games in a row to fucking Taylor Heineke and Trevor Siemian. You know, Daniel Jones is a better quarterback easily than they are. They have better weapons. And if we don't get our shit together on defense and come out and punch them in the mouth versus waiting to react to what they're doing, it could get ugly.
You know, a couple of things in response to that. One, Taylor Heineke balled out. I don't know what it
He
is.
played amazing.
Right. I don't know what it is with Tom Brady on the other sideline, because we saw the same thing in the playoff game last year. But like, he sees Tom Brady, he goes, "Oh, I'm gonna show this dude up." And for whatever reason, I mean, Taylor Heineke leaves the best games of his career to when Tom Brady is there. I don't know if he wants to impress him. I don't know if he thinks Tom Brady's his long lost dad or something like that. Like, I don't know what it is there with him, but he always plays really well, and he's played really well the last 2 times against the Bucs. So I think you got to give your hat tip to him. When it comes to playing a little bit more aggressive coverage, the problem with that is the Bucs were in the game, right? The Bucs were right there at the end, even playing that style of defense. And that is the thought process. Just don't give up anything more than you need to against a quarterback that is not an elite quarterback. Let's face it, he had a good game, but that's the game plan you've got to have. They just couldn't get off the field on 3rd down. They could not give Brady the ball back. And so I think another thing is, I know it's really frustrating for fans when things aren't going right. They want to know, how do we fix it? How does this not happen again? What do we do differently? But I think the point that you guys made is a really, really good one. This defense thrives off of being able to play press. You can't play press with the guys they have. And as super frustrating as that is, because a lot of admitting that is just going, what do we do at this point? That's where the Bucs are. It's also why I'm not super worried about them right now, because at this point, Sean Murphy-Bunting is supposed to come back. Carlton Davis is supposed to eventually come back. And all of that, I think, will make a massive difference, especially if they come back with enough time to get a couple of games under their belt before they make the playoffs and they really start their playoff run. Because that is their defensive identity, right? That is what helped them beat a variety of different offenses, a variety of different teams as they made their Super Bowl run last year. They don't have that ability this year because they don't have the talent out there at corner. And it's super frustrating to have injuries and see poor play on the field like you guys are and just go, what do we do? How do we fix it? What can we change? What can we do differently? But like Stank was saying there, he almost like wants them to just play a little bit more aggressive, and where you might get away with a couple of plays here and there with more aggressiveness. You wouldn't like it very much if Delaney gets hit by a double move and Terry McLaurin or whoever it is 10 yards with nobody near him, scorching down the sideline, scoring a 60-yard touchdown. So I think that all of that very much goes into it. And, you know, you look at a guy like Jamel Dean. Jamel Dean, I think, is a great corner 3. I think he's a great CB3 for a team. Carlton Davis goes down. Sean Murphy-Bunting goes down. All of a sudden, the guy who you think is a CB3, that's CB1. That's a problem. Then all of a sudden, top down from your cornerback depth chart, you've got guys who are punching above their weight, if you will, giving up yards they shouldn't, making penalties because they're outmatched a little bit, whatever it is. And so when I look at the Bucs, that's the reality I have with them. As frustrating as it is, that's just the point of the year with the injuries they have.
Yeah, it was a tough position to go, 4 deep at for any team.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing that is I'm kind of impressed with Jamel Dean, though. He's kind of played pretty damn well, but some of that also is the fact that they're throwing at the other guys. So Jamel's kind of like, I don't gotta really do much. But in the moments that we've seen him, he's come up big. He's played pretty well when the ball is thrown towards him. He's had a couple of picks the last few weeks. He's played well. But I want to ask you, Trevor, over the last couple of weeks, we've seen teams lose to unlikely opponents, teams they should crush. We've seen the Bills do that. We saw the Cowboys get absolutely destroyed by a Broncos team. And then they came back, so we were talking Super Bowl in Dallas. We were talking the team coming out of the NFC with the Dallas Cowboys. Same thing with the Bills at one point. Same thing with the Chiefs. They've kind of been, struggling. And then the following weeks, they come out and they just absolutely demolish the team they faced. The Cowboys destroyed the Falcons team. It's just horrible. They only gave them 3 points, and it wasn't even close. The Bucs have lost 2 straight. The Bucs have had their shitty game against a 2-6 team they lost to. They should have crushed them. How important is it for the Bucs to come out and basically not just prove it to the rest of the NFL, but prove it to themselves. And is a loss like that something that maybe they needed to understand that teams they're facing are giving them their absolute best week in and week out? You can't take a play off when you're the Super Bowl defending Super Bowl champs. This is the Super Bowl of every team you're playing. How much is that like loss going to actually help this team, and how important is it for them to absolutely just destroy the Giants?
Yeah, and I mean, shoot, if they could beat the Giants 45-7, I think that everybody in Tampa Bay would feel really great about it.
That would make me feel really good, honestly.
It's pros versus pros, so I'm not going to bet on that to happen. But what you're saying there, kind of getting that learning lesson, or getting that feeling, or getting that momentum, that confidence, that goes back to kind of something that I pointed out last year, where Tom Brady, and I'll throw Rob Gronkowski in there too, right? But mainly Tom Brady has been here before, right? He's been a champion. He's also been a champion and then had to come back the next year and continue to be good, right? Not just coast off the championship, recalibrate, say to himself and remotivate himself and say, yeah, I'm the champ and I still want to be the champ. Like, I don't want anybody taking my crown. You guys remember that Washington game last year. And for as much as Taylor Heineke, again, played really, really well last year, we saw so many mental mistakes from so many Bucs players you just didn't really expect. Think of the game that Chris Godwin had, right? Guys dropping balls left and right. How in the world is that happening? Well, Chris Godwin had never been in the playoffs before. None of these guys had ever been in a situation where they were in the playoffs. It was win or you go home. And I think that they were sort of lucky to get out of Washington with that win. Now, they were the better team, so I don't want to say it was totally lucky, but it was on the road, and it was close because I think that a lot of guys on the roster were playing a little bit scared, a little bit kind of with some nerves. And I think
some apprehension for sure.
Right. And I think that they just weren't playing fully confident, if you will. They were a little bit reserved. And I think that Brady probably talked to them afterwards and like, now y'all got a taste of what the playoffs is like. And he probably went up to the guys who struggled a little bit and he said, hey, you made it past that first game. Now you feel what that's like. Now you turn that nervousness into excitedness. Now you turn it into motivation, into confidence. And that's when you really go from being a young and inexperienced playoff green kind of a player to a veteran who has playoff experience, who could really aid a team and things like that. When I look at the Bucs and when I look at a game like the Washington game that they just played, I think it's without a doubt a learning lesson that, yeah, we were the champs last year. We were 6-3, or what were they? 6-2 going into the bye week. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, we won 6 games going into the bye week. We got all these injuries at corner. We're good. You come out and you get absolutely smacked in the mouth because you forget for 1 second that guys on the other side of the field, they get paid too, that they're pros too, that they can come out and they can take a game against anybody. So I think that was a huge learning lesson from them, and I think that this could be a really nice, maybe not get right game, but just reaffirming their confidence that they are the reigning Super Bowl champions, that they really do have more to show the NFL world this season of what they can be. And yeah, make no mistake about it, this is a Giants team they should beat. They should beat this Giants team. I get it. Every game in the NFL is close. Anybody can win any given Sunday, but they should beat this Giants team. And I think that coming out, beating them handily would go a long way towards them having that confidence, a lot like they did last year in the postseason, to say, all right, we got this. We got the bad out of the way. We're still alive. Let's move forward and let's turn it into confidence.
Yeah, I felt like we gave Washington that confidence with the turnovers early, the OJ false start penalty in the first play of the game. Just came out there with some really fucked up energy, and it just snowballed. And then by the time they tried to turn it on, it was too little, too late. And you're right. We were in that game. We were in the New Orleans game, even with all the penalties and all the mistakes. I think we're better than both of those teams, but like you said, clearly in the NFL, you can't beat yourselves and expect to beat the team across from you because they get paid too.
Right. The one key thing too is, if you remember when Tom was with the Patriots for all those years, they didn't necessarily start hot every single season. There were seasons where they kind of they struggled a little bit to kind of get things rolling, and then eventually they hit their stride and they were rolling. And I feel like Tom understands a little bit of that, of like, hey, listen, let's get through these. Let's take some of our lumps. But once we get there, we know that we got to ramp it up. And I think having a guy like that in the locker room, basically a Bill Belichick in the locker room, he'll help those guys along. Like, hey, guys, come on, let's keep plugging away. As long as we're fucking firing on all cylinders when it hits, that's when it matters. And we see the Patriots team right now. Did you think after week 2 or 3 this team was going to make the playoffs? No.
Right.
We watched them last night. They fucking look like Mac has played for fucking 7, 8 years already in the league, and he's fucking ready to roll. And the defense looks ridiculous. Everyone's getting to the quarterback. It looks, I mean, sure, it's the fucking Falcons. I get it. But still, you know, they've grown every single week, and I think that's one of those things. But I agree with you. This week, the Bucs have to take the Giants by the fucking balls and just grab them, fucking rip them out, fucking don't show any fucking mercy. But speaking of balls, Trevor, the holidays have come early. The holidays have come early this year, and Manscaped has a gift that keeps on giving. Keeps on trimming, actually. Santa's beard is not so appealing when it's coming out of your trousers, and that's why Manscaped, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming, have you covered this holiday season. Now available in your country, of course. Join the 4 million, that's fucking 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped to keep their trees trimmed and their ornaments polished. Mine, I'll tell you guys, fucking phenomenal. Anyways, go to manscaped.com for you guys out there. Use the code BABYOIL. That's right, BABYOIL. Get 20% off plus free shipping. You guys got to check out the fucking the Performance Package 4.0. They got spray that goes on your balls. Makes them feel amazing the entire day. Then you got ball toner. If your shit's looking like Stanks and it's hanging down 3-4 inches beyond the shorts, get that ball toner. I'm telling you, tightens them back up. You feel young again. Amazing. Check them out. Our friends over at Manscaped. Use the code BABYOIL. It's 20% off. Whatever's already on sale. On top of that, 20% off and free shipping. Listen,
it's true, Sam. Right? Listen, a lot of guys are worried about gaining length. I'm worried about I need to lose. You know, my balls are just so long, bro. You know what I mean? And since I started using the ball toner, they've tightened up quite a bit.
Yeah, I've seen you when you're at a bar and you get off that stool. It looks like you sat in bubble gum. It's just peeling out of the bottom of your shorts. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Did you sit on some
painful?
Oh,
it's
that's
painful.
your fucking sack.
Yeah.
I get it.
And you remember when you used to eat Fruit Roll-Ups as a kid and you had to peel it off that plastic? That's how it is sometimes, dude. If you sit on your balls too long, when you get up, it's just like it hurts.
Listen, you look at Trevor. Trevor's always had phenomenally groomed hair. I don't doubt for 1 second that his balls look amazing down there. He's probably taking care of things down there, no problem. And we're gonna get him a fucking performance pack. We're gonna get you a 4.0 performance pack, Trevor. All right? Because you've earned it, man, for moving out of state, helping us win a Super Bowl. But listen, guys, it's fan fucking Friday, right? It's Fan Friday. That means the phone calls, the fans, the takes are what matter. And guess what? Tonight, the best fucking take is taking home 2 tickets to the Giants Monday Night Football game and a parking pass.
Club seats.
I don't know if they're club, man. Hey, come on. Don't get
I thought they were club.
Nah, this is not PFF show, bro. We got club tickets. We're not there
in
yet.
The stadium.
In the stadium. We're getting you decent seats in the stadium. We got a free parking
Club
pass.
Ray J. Yeah, all right? Just like the whole thing.
Yeah. Club. There you go. That's great. Yeah. Let Trevor think of something cool like that. All right, we got four callers. All right, these are fucking gonna be crazy because people want these tickets. So we're gonna start. We're going to the 904. You're on with the Loose Cannons. What's your Bucs take? You ready to win these fucking tickets? Let's go.
Bring it.
Repeat that for me.
Go. You're on.
Go. You're on.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Hey, I'm Ryan from Jacksonville. I'm behind on the stream, so I wasn't ready. I'm eating some spaghetti. But
is it your mom's spaghetti?
Will Golston got to step up. I know that.
Will Golston, yeah.
With Vita Vea out, you got to put that big motherfucker in the middle. You know, let him clog up with 2 people. You know. Double team, keep it same, you know. But all I know is I went to the Falcons game. Mike Edwards needs to step up too. I don't know why they don't have him in playing slot with all the corners out. At least give him a shot playing it. He's athletic. He's versatile.
I agree with that. I like when Mike Edwards is on the field. He's a ball hawk. Seems to always be around, you know, making plays. I'm surprised that they don't go with more 3 safety looks, but. You know, who am I to question?
I think they sprinkled him in actually in that game. But again, it's one of those things where you can't just kind of throw a guy out there if there's not really much of a game plan. It's more of a – I feel like that's kind of – but I think this week we might see him in there. Might see some more 3 safety looks. When you get Carlton Davis back, that's when shit's going to change, man. I'm telling you. And he was running today. He was running on the side little field away from everybody. He was running. That's freaking huge, man. A quad, that's huge.
Thanks for the call, but –
I was just gonna say, Mike Edwards has played the most snaps at free safety. He's played 125 snaps at free safety this year. Second most slot corner, 106. So not far behind. So Bucs actually are feeling that idea as well. They like Mike Edwards in the slot.
You know who I
He
like
was
in
in
the
he was
slot?
in quite a lot because of injury.
Right. Don't do this, Samer. Don't. I'm actually surprised we made it this long.
I know the over under
was.
was 18. I'm like, how the
Yeah,
fuck can I
yeah.
slide this in? Oh, speaking of which, sliding it in. Listen, this show. Listen, we don't got AB, so this show is avid fans of Johnson in the slot. All right, Johnson in the slot is a big deal. You fit him in, he slides right in. Most of the time, he can go deep. He can go shallow. He can go across the middle. And usually he creates explosive plays, explosive results, even though sometimes it looks a little messy. But I'm telling you, Tyler Johnson in the slot, underrated.
Yeah, but you're talking about a young Johnson, bro. I mean, we all remember what it was like to be young, right? It's out of control. Sometimes you don't know the game plan going in. And so you're just a little messy out there. You're a little confused. You don't know where you're supposed to line up. You don't know which hole to run through. It can be difficult.
It can be difficult, and especially, listen, early on in the season, he was a little overexcited. Sometimes he would let it go a little too soon.
Would you say premature?
Premature, yeah, almost premature. And so now he's gotten his feet underneath him. He understands, what it takes to go the distance. He understands the type of stamina that he has to go into a game with. And now it's time to really bring Johnson out of the slot. Let him fucking explode. Let him show what he's got. Because I've seen him run. That is a girthy wide receiver. He can block. He can do everything you ask of a Johnson, especially in the slot. And you can slide him right in there. He just fits right in, man.
Listen, when you're in you think about the room he's in, right? You look around and you're like, look at that over there. Look at this over there. I gotta rise to the occasion. Yep. I mean, look at Chris Godwin. Wow. Look at Mike Evans. Incredible. It's only gonna make him better.
Yep. The size of the individuals around him is something he's really got to live up to.
Yeah,
it's something
Mike's huge.
He's got to get up there. Go ahead, Jay.
Going back to Tyler Johnson. Tyler Johnson reminds me a lot of Chris Godwin.
What are you doing right now?
What am I doing?
Yeah. What? We're actually talking about Tyler Johnson right now?
What? We were talking about Tyler Johnson this whole time?
Trevor's like, I'm about to get fired from.
I know.
Y'all are doing Jay wrong right now.
My bad, Jay.
You are doing Jay wrong right now. Tyler, Jay's out here trying to have an honest football conversation, and you idiots are just going.
James Thomas in the chat. Johnson dropped his balls on Sunday. Yeah. We got him. We're gonna get him that performance package.
He does need one.
All right, listen.
Go ahead, Jay-Buc.
Go ahead, Jay. Make an actual football statement, Jay.
Yeah. Please, Jay-Buc, make an actual football statement.
Man, y'all took my train of thought off.
Trevor, tend to do that quite a bit.
My bad.
I have nothing to say about Jay in the slot. Let's go to the 727. Let's go to the 727. Let's see if this guy's taking home the tickets. Go ahead, 727.
Hi, how you guys doing tonight?
Oh, female.
This
Good.
is
How are you?
Miss Garnett.
Mrs. Garnett. How you doing?
Miss Garnett. I have a lot to say tonight, but Trevor has already said everything that I was going to say. And I'm kind of fearful that Tom from Michigan is going to call in, and I don't have a shot in hell at getting the tickets.
Well, listen, Sue.
So,
Tom in Michigan lives in fucking Michigan, so he can't win the tickets, right?
He's not going to win.
He's going to call with an epic
take
like he always does.
I have this feeling he might come down. What if he comes down? I really need these tickets, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Well, I have not seen my son cheer on the sidelines since he was in Little League. So I really am trying to get the tickets to see him cheer.
He's great too. I mean, we haven't had a whole lot to cheer about over the years, but seeing that guy out there in that tight suit cheering this team on.
Can you imagine if we win? When we're ahead, just picture it. When we're ahead, this helicopter mom is going to be so happy watching her son cheer.
It's going to.
I'll be rooting for the Bucs because I love them, but I'm just saying, to see him cheer one more time.
We're so proud of Devin
would be
too.
Great.
We are.
Yeah.
Listen, Sue,
yeah, I really am. He really had a good day today, didn't he?
He did.
He did have
That's
a good
for
day.
sure.
So you know
Yeah.
what? Right now you're in the running, Sue. I'm not gonna lie, because you bringing up Devin and his
Am
dance
I?
skills on the sidelines. Well played. You
Yeah.
know how to get me to appreciate a phone call. Making fun of Devin always wins.
Well, I can't help it. He's so easy to laugh at.
Oh, he definitely is.
Listen, Trevor, it's okay. It's her son. All right. He's been on the show multiple times. It's all allowed. But Trevor, since you've been on the show, by the way, we have a totally different format when it comes to our callers giving their score predictions for the game. So Sue,
Yes.
go ahead and give us your score prediction, and also not just the score. At what point in the game will Thunder Thighs Blaine Gabbert take snaps?
Wow.
Okay, well, it'll be the Bucs, 27-10,
Okay, like that.
and Gabbert never leaves the bench.
Wow, I don't like that at all.
Oof.
Oh.
I'm not saying I like it. It's just my prediction.
All right. Sue.
And I also have to tell you that I like my wings wet with blue cheese. You didn't ask me that, but I'm telling you, straight up, that's the way it is.
I think I saw you eat them at the watch party, so I kind of had a feeling. You sound like a smart
We,
lady,
Yeah.
too.
we already had the intel.
Yeah, we had the intel.
Yeah, so I just want to let you know you can just cut off the rest of the callers tonight. Nobody else needs to say anything.
Oh, wow.
Trevor and I have covered it all, so
Yep.
you know.
Yep. We talked before the show. She gave me all her notes. So I mean, like, it was just that everything that I said. I mean, that was her takes actually. So
Oh. Does PFF
Yeah,
know that
exactly.
you've been plagiarizing this whole time?
yeah, I know. What do you think the P stands for in PFF?
Wow. Plagiarized football focus. Unbelievable. Holy shit. We
Great
just
minds
broke
think
news.
alike.
We've just fucking broke YouTube. What the fuck? Sue, great call. Awesome call. Listen, if you win, I will
You guys have a
personally
great
contact
night.
you. You too. Thank you for calling.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Good call. That's a good call.
That was a
It
great.
was a good call. That's a great call.
Anytime you shit talk Devin Garnett, to me, that's major points.
Major
And
points.
his own mom coming in here talking shit. That's just a beautiful thing.
Major points. So we got 3 more
It's a
callers.
family. It's a big family show. It's just. It's
is.
A,
Yeah, what
that's
do you
really-
think loose cannons?
The first. Yeah. When I think of loose cannons, I think of just good family fun. Like that's what I
Yeah,
think.
gather up the kids, have an
Yep.
early supper, get them
Yep.
in front of the smart TV nowadays, and we're going to watch some loose cannons, some wholesome family fucking programming. That's what we're going to watch. A little plagiarized football focus as a guest. We got the Samurai. You got a guy named Stank Bastard talking all about Johnsons in the slots. It's education on multiple levels if you think about it, honestly.
Yeah, it's what you build the American family off of.
This guy in the chat, he predicts 84 to -7 Bucks. I like that. They should take
I
7.
like that,
If you
too.
allow 84 points in a game, they should just take away 7 points from you. So I like that. I liked it a lot. All right, let's go to the 813. You're on with the loose cannons. You gonna take these tickets?
Yo, fellas. Jeremy calling. How y'all doing tonight? Y'all doing
What
good?
up, Jeremy? Yes, sir.
Jeremy.
Yeah. Well, for one thing, I think you guys have failed to mention, usually at home, we put up a lot of points. And I feel like we need the fans to come together Monday night and root these guys on and show their support. Hopefully no blue fucking jerseys. The last couple of Giant games I went to, all I saw was blue fucking jerseys. So there are really Buck fans out there that need to go out there, support your fucking team, and show them that we are the Super Bowl reigning champs. And another thing I want to put out there is, JPP, if you're hurt that bad, bro, you got to know when to kind of go to the sideline a little bit. Let GTS get in there and show what he's got, because I feel that young guy just needs some more reps, and he'll get in there, and we'll be fucking dangerous come playoff time.
Hey, but you know what? The
just
biggest
time.
paychecks play first, according to Larry Foote.
Don't take that out of context. That's not even how he meant it, man. You're gonna be one of those fucking one of those fucking media guys.
Whoa! Don't talk about
Don't say
Trevor's
it.
colleague like that, bro.
I
Don't
don't
talk
like
about
it.
Trevor's colleague like that.
He's not Trevor's colleague. Trevor's a PFF, bro.
Trevor used to do a show with Rick.
I don't care.
Yeah, pump
He
the
doesn't.
brakes.
He doesn't anymore. All right.
the
It was a slip. It just happened. It just happened.
That's actually a really good point, though. I didn't realize how many points the Bucs are scoring at home. 31, 48, 45, 38. So the lowest that they've scored at home is that Dallas Cowboys game. The rest, they have just been absolutely destroying folks at home. So that's a good sign. That is a good sign. That's a really good point.
Jeremy, before you get off the phone, listen. Can you say icy hot for me? Because people think you sound like Shaq.
Icy hot.
He might be Shaq.
No,
Say barbecue chicken.
Well, I did create a new word called intake, which you point out earlier when I was excited to hear about Trevor going on the show. So,
yeah, he was so excited about your take and your input, Trevor. He created a word called intake. He said, "I'm so
excited."
excited."
A word though.
I think intake is already a word.
Technically, it's still a word. It's already
He
a word.
created a new fucking definition for it. All right.
Right. Okay. All right. Okay. No, we got a new column in the dictionary. That still counts.
God, trying to take.
thank you.
I appreciate
Thank you.
that.
Appreciate it, Trevor.
But you're right about the Giants fans. They fuck Giants fans.
Man.
The last game was just disgusting. It was ugh. It's hard for me to wash that feeling off.
I was there. It was fucking horrible. I took my girlfriend to her very first Bucs game ever, and they fucking blew it. Matt Gay missed that fucking field goal, and I was so mad.
Wasn't his
I
fault.
was like,
It wasn't his fault. We already
Bruce Arians'
established
fault.
it was the whole.
It was all Matt Gay. And what's sad is that my girlfriend thought that people were calling him Gay, but she didn't realize that his name was Matt Gay. That's how much I hated the fucker.
Wow.
I was like,
Oh, you just pulled one of my moves.
Listen, Jeremy. You could have almost
Sorry,
taken
homie.
those tickets, man. But this is a Matt Gay podcast. Great call.
Yeah,
by
this
the
is
way.
a huge gay
Huge.
podcast.
Yeah, that was our big gay kicker. We love Matt Gay.
He still
All right?
is. He's still one of us.
And hey, listen, we went out to L.A. We watched the Rams play. And last year when he came to Raymond James, he missed a couple kicks for us. He looked at us. He winked at us in the stands. It was up to the Bucs to pull it. They didn't pull it through. But he helped. He tried. And listen, Tom Brady's not here. He told us himself, Tom Brady doesn't come to Tampa unless Matt Gay calls him. Says, hey, calm on down. We've got the fucking pieces.
Yep.
And unfortunately, Matt, Tom stabbed Matt in the back and had him cut. But, that's a different story. That's going to be a 30 for 30, like one of those loose cannons. Loose cannons 20 for 20. That's what it's going to call it. Yeah. We'll do this later.
So we need to wipe the floor with them. I would love if we scored 87 points. It would make my Thanksgiving just so much more full of thanks. Trevor, are you a big Thanksgiving guy? 'Cause I know you eat. You're a foodie.
Yes. Yeah. No, I'm a big Thanksgiving guy. I'm a big Thanksgiving. Now here's the actual Thanksgiving question.
Don't do it.
Ham or turkey?
No.
Which one?
Turkey, dude. What are you talking about?
Turkey.
Don't come on this podcast and disrespect Thanksgiving. You better be Jay. Is it turkey?
No. Wait. How am I disrespecting Thanksgiving? I just posed the question.
I think you're a ham guy. I have a feeling.
Trash ham into the conversation.
What, ham or turkey?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which one's better?
I'm not more feeling. I have to have both.
Okay.
I got to have both.
A turkey ham?
Jay,
Are you a honey baked ham guy? You go to the honey baked ham store and get that spiral cut honey baked ham, or you cook it at home yourself?
Oh, no, I cook it at home myself, but I have to have both. I have to have the ham. I got to have the smoked turkey. I have to have the fried turkey. I got to have it all. It's Thanksgiving.
You have 2 turkeys and a ham?
Of course.
You got the club.
Yes.
You got the clumps
Trevor,
come over?
how are we
going on?
preparing the turkey in the Sikkema household?
I don't know. I don't know how my mom does it, but it's just it's like oven baked, but very well. My mom, however she does it, she doesn't turn out dry as hell like a lot of people complain about turkey. My answer is turkey, by the way, like unequivocally. Like I am on record. I just found the tweet from 2019 that says if your family serves you ham at Thanksgiving, they don't really love you. So like we're talking. I'm not just saying this on the podcast. This is
That's a first.
I agree with that, actually.
I agree.
Especially if it's just a ham. That just means
right.
Yeah, you're probably adopted.
I am very much team eat what you want to eat. Okay, do whatever makes you happy. But if you ask me my opinion, it's turkey all the way. I'm a turkey guy on Thanksgiving, no question about it. No question.
There's no reason for a turkey to be dry, by the way.
You gotta do it the Chef Ramsay way. Gotta do it the Chef Ramsay way. Gotta get up underneath that skin between the breast meat and that skin. You gotta rub that fucking butter in there. You gotta get those fucking herbs in there. You gotta just exactly the way Johnson slides into the slot. You gotta slide your hand up in there, man.
Yeah,
rub it down.
Exactly that way. I don't know if it's exactly that way.
Listen, pro tip, because I've been cooking the turkey
if you're doing it right.
I've been cooking the turkey for my family for a long time. Pro tip for all you rookies out there that are just getting in to the turkey cooking game. in the section where you buy the pans, right? The big old turkey pans. They sell bags that you can cook your turkey in.
Fucking guy.
You put your turkey in that bag, and it's like a crock pot for turkeys. It holds the moisture in. It keeps the moisture in. When you take it out of that bag, it fucking falls apart. It's so beautiful. It gets nice and brown.
I've never cooked the turkey without that bag. And if I'm doing it in the oven, never.
Right. A lot of people do.
There's a way to do it without the bag, though. There's a way to do it without the bag, but you gotta be on your basting game. Like you gotta have a fucking Joe Montana, Tom Brady-esque basting game. Like you gotta be on it. Every first down, you're basting.
You don't have to inject it if you cook it in that bag because it absorbs all the juices.
I said
somebody in the chat room says inject your turkey.
You gotta be a master baster in order to really cook a turkey without a bag. If you think about it, it's the way to go.
Yeah, and I am a great baster, but I don't consider myself a master.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got 2 more calls. We're gonna go to 6, 7, 8. You're on with the loose cannons. Give me your fucking Bucs take. Give me your score. And, of course, don't forget, when does Blaine Gabbert come into this game? Go ahead.
Who's this Smitty, man? What's going on, man?
Pastor Smitty, happy Thanksgiving, bro.
Hey, man, I'm going to have a good old soul food Thanksgiving. Come and get your soul food. All you can eat.
What are the side dishes? What are the side dishes?
Oh, man, check this out. Check it out. You go to a black folk thing, extravaganza. We have macaroni and cheese, collard greens, cabbage. We have, we got to have potato salad. You got to have potato salad. And we also have fried turkey, ham. Man, we got it all, man. We don't have pumpkin pie. We have sweet potato pie, brother. That's how we get down. That good old-fashioned soul food.
Look at Jay-Buc. Jay-Buc's like...
Yeah. Hey, Jay-Buc, how you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. How you doing, Smitty? You don't
Man, you know what, man? Besides watching the Sorry Falcons the other night, man, I'm calling from Atlanta. And that was pitiful. Anyway, skip over that. Trev, how you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. You got me hungry. You got me hungry out here. I'm wishing it was Thanksgiving already.
We'll fly you on the. Well, we're gonna fly you on the jet, bro. You get some of this sweet potato salad, some good, collard green with hot sauce, man. Turkey, ham, Boston butt, all that. Man, we're gonna have to fly you in the A, man, so you get some real good old fashioned soul food.
I noticed I noticed you threw a little shade at pumpkin pie, and I like sweet potato pie, but are you anti pumpkin pie?
No. Just the folks I hang out, we do the sweet potato pie. We do it hood style,
They're both good. They're both good.
They both good. But Trav, that is a cool last name, man. I love that name. The last name, is it Sikkema or Sikkema?
Sikkema, yeah. I mean, I got 2 compliments out here on the last name.
Yeah, we had a hook for your liquor, man. I heard you was talking about you share like a liquor or something. We had a call sipping on the Sikkema, man. Hey, I'm sipping on the Sikkema, man. Hey, sipping, man. That's the hook.
I like it.
That's it.
We're gonna have a jingle for you and everything.
Damn right.
Man.
I got some shit now. But anyway, man, did y'all see that? Did y'all see that post, that thing with Tom Brady like a mask color with that hat on his head? He looked mad. He was like about to shoot up at school. I said, damn, Tom Brady, man. Like my boy Tampa 2 said, man, they got to go to homie court. They all guilty, man. I don't know what went on in that game, man. I know on any given Sunday, man, but Tom, like, he knew what was going on with Antonio Brown. Like, he was mad, like, fuck it, I'm just going to throw the ball over here, throw it over there. And a couple of times, Mike Evans was open, man, wide open. Wow. He giving it to what they call him, Sunday day Lenny. Leonard.
Regular season Lenny last week.
No season Lenny keep fucking messing around. But man, they just didn't play well, man. It was out of sync, man. I was embarrassed, man. What we got to do, know what I'm worried about in our division now, man? And it's crazy. It's the Panthers. They got a hellified defense.
Cut it out, Smitty. Cut it out. No, Smitty.
Now they got a hellified defense, man. No. Now they Cam back. I know Cam. No. Cam, boy, I'm not saying he going to be the game, but you got a team it's got that feeling. Like, okay, we here now. We got the defense.
I actually agree with Smitty on this. I think Carolina finishes second.
You both have PTSD, man. You're both battered ass Bucs fans.
You know what? Facts over feelings. I'm just being real. As a football fan, they got a good defense. I'm not saying they're gonna win everything, but that's the person I'm worried about in our division. is them, man. It's the way that we playing.
It just
You gotta
feels
look at the
right.
way that
It
we
feels
playing.
right. It feels right to have Cam back. It feels right to have hatred for Cam back in my heart.
Yeah, I didn't
enjoy
properly hate the Panthers. Last year we beat them twice, and it didn't feel good enough because Cam wasn't receiving those L's.
Yes.
So I do agree with you that now that he's back, now we can properly get our proper. That's how we need to get that revenge.
I mean, we actually have a Carolina Panther correspondent on the show with us, Trevor. Panthers.
Trevor, you're on the air. Trevor, speak on the Trevor.
Listen,
speak on the Trevor. You're on the air.
I agree with Smitty. I think the Carolina
there you
finishes
go.
second
Sipping on that
division.
sticker.
I agree.
Fucking talking about a homer. He's a homer.
Who's gonna take him? Trevor Simeon and the Saints? Like, it's not a slam dunk. Like, maybe it is, but I'm just saying, like, it's close. You look at Carolina. That's a confident football team now. Like you say, like, that defense is playing well. Obviously, Cam's got him they got a little bit extra juice right now. I don't think Carolina's making the playoffs or anything, but I think they're going to finish second in the division.
I cannot allow this. You're not going to fucking hijack this Buccaneers podcast with this fucking Carolina Panthers nonsense. Smitty, talk about the Giants. Give me your score prediction, Smitty. I got to move on. Give me your score prediction.
Wait, before we move on, I'm going to push this further. Before we move on, I actually believe that Carolina can possibly make the playoffs.
I don't see. We have lost complete control of the show.
Y'all, it's 7. Come on, let's be real.
I agree, Jay-Buc. I agree.
It's 7 teams that are going into playoffs in this conference. 7, 4 division winners. Who are
Jay-Buc?
The Rams
sipping on that sticker.
In a playoff team, 2 playoff teams are coming out of the NFC West.
What the fuck is going on right now?
Who is coming out of the East? What
Facts over feelings, man.
Carolina's got a spot right now, don't they?
They do.
I think they might.
I think 2 teams are going to come out of the NFC South.
That's great. We don't care about the other teams.
And it definitely isn't the Saints.
Listen, Smitty.
It ain't the Falcons.
I've given you an hour.
No, that's for damn sure.
I need your score prediction. When does Thunder Thighs come in?
Man, I hope he does, man. I'm not taking anything lightly no more, man, because everybody's playing. Since we're the Super Bowl champion, everybody's coming at us, bro. I'm like Brother Abraham said, man, it's going to be a fight, dog. Our defense ain't looking good. Tom, I don't know what's going on, man, but we got to get it together. It might be a close one, dog, and I took Washington for granted. They're almost similar a little bit, but New York is a little bit more. They got better players, but, man, we better watch it, man. We better wake up. If we lose this game, like I said, you got them Panthers in the background waiting on, okay.
All right, great.
We got to tighten up, man. This ain't 2020 anymore.
Samer is visibly shaking right now. Samer is visibly
Facts
shaking.
over feelings, baby. Facts over feelings. I'm just talking facts.
I talk facts
Look at the defense.
Together.
Look at the defense, man.
All right. Listen,
we look like
nobody here is saying Carolina is winning the division in the chat room. People are freaking out.
Shut the fuck up about the Panthers. I don't care. I can't do this. Who gives a fuck about the Panthers? All right, they're going to fucking ride this little Cam Newton wave for a few weeks. Then they're going to come spiraling, crashing right back fucking down when everyone's like, oh, shit, this guy can't throw the fucking ball. All right, we're all going to come back to that. His shoulders I'm done with it. I don't want to hear any more of this shit. All right, we got Tom in Michigan. He's waiting to fucking give us his take. We've been on here for almost a fucking hour. I think Trevor is hungry. I'm fucking hungry. I feel like we should be invited to Smitty's house in a couple weeks in Atlanta for like a delayed Thanksgiving because what he fucking spoke, that shit made me
we're going to be at his house.
We need to go to his house.
Listen.
And y'all did point out that Miss Smitty did say turkey and ham, right?
I got
he
it.
did. You know, he did.
Said both.
He said it, and it sounded good. Look, I just want to shout out Smitty. The best sports bar, the best wings in Bradenton, Florida, which is where I'm from. Growing up, was a place called Smitty's. So just big shout out Smitty.
Yes, is that off of Manatee Avenue?
Yes, it is, Jay. Yes, it is.
I was forgetting
Jay-Buc, you're from Bradenton, Sarasota too?
No, I am born and raised in Tampa. I'm from Palm River. Now, I did live in Bradenton briefly when I was in job during my graduate program and the job that I was working with at the time. So I lived in Bradenton for 3 years from 2012 to 2015. But no, I am
and you found the wing spot, and you knew the wing spot. All right.
Hey, Trevor, I got one even better for you. I actually stayed 2 blocks away from Smitty's.
Oh, it's dangerous. That's dangerous, my man. That's dangerous.
It's way more dangerous now that there's like 33 different delivery services that can bring you those fucking wings.
That's very true.
All right, so we got Tom in Michigan. He's on the line. All right. So before we go to Tom in Michigan, let's do the little round table here. Let's give our score predictions.
Sue is scared in the chat.
Don't forget the new format. Give us your score prediction and when Blaine Gabbert comes into the game. I'll start with mine. I honestly think the Bucs will win 42-6. They give up 2 field goals. Blaine Gabbert comes in.
Not
7
even 50.
minutes left in the
Not even 50.
No. I can't do I've been saying 50 burger for 2 weeks and we've been losing, so I'm bringing it down. 42. All right, be more realistic here. 42-6. Blaine Gabbert comes in with 5 minutes left in the fourth, just to kind of stretch out those fucking delicious hammies of his. That's all. Go ahead, Stanker. We'll leave
me?
Trevor last. Yeah.
This is going to be a close game. I feel like it's going to be a better game, but I still feel in the end we win by 6. I'm going to go ahead and say we're going to get over 30. 31, since we love that number. 25.
Wow, that's pretty sad. Go ahead, Jay.
Oh God, do I have to give a prediction?
Okay, you don't.
Up to you. I think it's gonna be a little closer as well. Oh man, I would say I'm gonna go with 27-17.
You guys are crazy, man. They're not.
Gabbert doesn't play. Gabbert doesn't play in my
and Gabbert doesn't play. Yeah.
I will say 33-17. I think they're going to score a decent amount. I think Gronk's going to have a huge day. I don't think Blaine Gabbert plays though. So sorry about it.
Wow. You can't just fucking humor us, Trevor. That's fucking. I can't believe it.
All right. Okay. All right.
Blaine They're Gabbert up 33-17, and Blaine doesn't see the field. Why?
Blaine Gabbert comes in. Blaine Gabbert comes in for the victory formation and kneels the game out. There.
That's a beautiful knee.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God. Both of his knees would technically be bent. I mean, that's a fucking statue if I've ever seen one, man. That's what we need. At the end of this run of 4 straight Super Bowl wins, we need a Blaine Gabbert victory formation statue in front of $1. It'd be just beautiful. Make it completely out of pewter. Fuck the bronze, pewter. I want it to be
You should
pewter.
commission that soon. Just that way it's ready.
I'll have my guy do it after he's done doing mine.
Okay.
All right.
If they win 4 Super Bowls in a row, they're going to have a statue of every single player from every single team outside of Raymond James Stadium. And there's just going to be 85 statues all next to each other.
And everybody
they
on
need the Rondé
screen.
statue. They need the Rondé statue with him pointing at his jersey.
Yeah. But everybody on this screen should also have a statue out there, because at this moment in history is when we called it. We said 4 straight right here.
It's true.
Right.
True.
I feel it's fair.
Yeah, it does.
We have a really cool, like, fucking the 4 of us standing all fucking weird and shit. Like maybe kind of like that Nextel commercial from a long time ago with the 3 dudes.
Latte's not in there at all.
I was gonna say Christian's just not in it.
He wasn't here. This is a moment in history. All right.
You think Christian's gonna have time for us in like 6 months from now?
No, he's big time in us now, bro.
Yeah, private jets, private helicopters.
We start calling him Hollywood. Start calling him Hollywood Latte.
Yeah.
From here
Hollywood
on out,
Latte, dude.
That kid is going to take off.
Yeah.
I don't even know who we are anymore.
And that's why
we're on the streets.
We're slowly transitioning. We have to start having a cup of J instead of cup of latte.
Smoke a J.
Smoking
J's. Yeah.
All right, guys. We're gonna close the show out with Tom in Michigan. Trevor, I hope you're sitting and holding on to both of your armrests there, because this is gonna be phenomenal. All right, Tom in Michigan is our Jim Rome caller. He's amazing. And he never ever accepts any of the wins for some reason. So, all right, Tom in Michigan, you're on with the loose cannons.
He sounds like that robot from Futurama too.
We're facing the Giants. Let me hear it, man.
Good evening, peeps. It's Tom in Michigan. How y'all doing tonight?
Oh, great.
What up, Tom?
Nothing much.
We were just ready for you to go into your thing. We were always waiting. What?
Okay, gotcha. Well, here it goes, players. Hey, Atlanta. Ugh. What the hell was that? Hey, talk about a definition of a dumpster fire. In Carolina? Hey, yes, I'm a troll, so I go on your websites. Y'all talking Super Bowl this year? Oh, my God, can you imagine you get to see Camus Newton not dive for another fumble when it matters? But I guess participation badge is more important to you than an actual victory. Hey, Detroit, way to F up a season. I want an 0-17 for the perfect season. But anyways, you suck. Now let's get into New York week. The Giants. Yeah, here they come. Remember when Daniel Jones made that first game and they crowned him the savior?
Mm-hmm.
Has ever more been made of less in history? The only thing Daniel Jones does well is run in a straight line. And even then, he sometimes trips over his own damn feet. Not saying he's an elite quarterback, but he's, 6-22 against teams not owned by Daniel Snyder? Remember the days when the Giants were more interesting when they were shooting themselves in nightclubs or LT pouring apple juice into a container for a pee sample? Yeah, like that works. Hey, remember the former Giant, JPP, says he can count the number of wins this season the Giants are going to have on his right hand? For this week, it's going to be some very bad intentions and a world of hurt come Monday night. DraftKings has a spread at -11. I was like, is that 11 touchdowns or 11 field goals? Tampa Bay 77-0. It's going to be like Shane Black taking the date to his place and looking her in the eyes and saying, "We going balls deep into that tonight." Good night, peeps.
Later, Tom.
Tom in Michigan. It's like reading us.
How did that start, man? How did the Tom reoccurring segment start?
He called in and he blew our fucking minds with a take, and then he just dropped the mic and hung up and refused to accept the win. It was so weird. And then he just every fucking fan Friday, Tom in Michigan, calls in and just shoots it everywhere. And he's fucking phenomenal. And he's in Michigan too, so you can't really accept it.
I just got a text. Hopefully it will focus here.
Probably not.
Yeah, that's just you can't even see it. That's just Latte's son with Enrique Iglesias.
See, Hollywood Latte.
Just hanging out.
Man.
Hollywood Latte flexing on us right now. Somebody in the chat said, "Don't call him Poppy Latte or Hollywood Latte. Just call him Starbucks." Makes sense. I like that. We should make a Starbucks shirt where it says Starbucks, and instead of the K, have it BUCS, and then have that little fucking mermaid, whatever the fuck that lady is, have that be latte, all like Starbucksed up and shit.
How is there nobody that has that as their Bucks thing on Twitter? Starbucks
has that.
Somebody has to. Hold on, I'm looking right now. No, I'm looking right now. Hold on. Somebody
go grab it. Somebody go grab it.
Starbucks.
No, it is. It's a Bucks fan.
Okay, good.
Starbucks.
I don't like him. I don't like him at all. We're gonna have to go ahead and talk to him about that. We need to take that over.
We have to purchase it.
He's an Italian Bucks fan.
Trevor, thanks for joining us, man. Let the lovely people in our viewership, whatever the fuck you want to call it, let them know where they can catch you and all the amazing shit that you do for plagiarist footballfocus.com.
Well, if you want to see all my plagiarized work, you can hear it here on the Loose Cannons podcast every time that I appear on this podcast. If you want to see my legitimate work, anything over at profootballfocus.com. We got all types of tools for you to be an extremely smart NFL fan, whether you want to know more about the Bucs, whether you want to know more about the rest of the league, whatever it is. PFF is just an unbelievable resource. I've been using it well before I was hired on at PFF. It's unique. It's one of a kind. It's awesome. And then, of course, on Twitter, at Tampa Bay Trey. I love interacting with all sorts of Bucs fans. I do the halftime Ask Me Anythings, and if you've never gotten involved in that, I'd love for you to send me a question. It's the halftime of every single Bucs game. It's a great way to interact, and yeah, you can just find all my stuff on there.
Listen, Trevor, send me your address after we get off this. All right, I gotta send you the performance package 4.0.
Wow,
courtesy of our friends at Manscaped.
Hold on, I have a question. I assume that you guys were the ones who made the promo code Baby Oil, right?
Yeah.
Why did you do Baby Oil instead of Loose Cannons? I know Baby Oil is your thing, but is this just like always going to be your thing from now on? What? Just like Baby Oil?
How fucking dare you, sir?
I know it's your thing. I just didn't think it'd be your promo code.
That's the beautiful Stephen Beck.
I know who it is.
Always
I know
be the
who
face.
it is. I listen to the show.
listen, it's always going to be baby oil because after after you've taken care of your jingle balls like that, right? And you apply that baby oil to them, bro, you're ready for action, man. You're ready for Johnson.
Can you do the toner and the baby oil, or is that just you're messing with science beyond?
Listen, I take a crude oil bath 3 days a week, right? After that,
sure,
we do the trimming, we take care of the manscaping, then we apply the toner. And then the baby oil is the finishing touch to give it that glisten.
Okay.
After the wife goes to bed, then you apply the baby oil.
Yeah, you put on the baby oil, right? And you're ready for Johnson in the slot time. Once that baby oil's on there, it's smooth. It's ready to go, man. Yeah. I mean, listen, you're not married yet, right? You're still. Are you guys engaged?
No.
Did you elope and just didn't announce?
No, we did not. We did not elope. We did not elope. Not breaking any news here.
Your lady is going to appreciate the baby oil, the ball toner, all of the above, man. And listen, it's a great Christmas gift too. So it works for both sexes, man. I'm just saying,
I just got my package in the mail.
Yep. So I'm gonna hook you up, Trevor, because that's what dudes do for other dudes, man. They take care of each other's balls.
That's means a lot, Samer. It really does. I can't tell you how touched I feel.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's just how I show love.
That's what she said.
Listen, we didn't announce a winner. Trevor, I'm sure you agree. Sue Garnett, you win the tickets. All right.
Yeah. She came in here and sold out her own flesh and blood for tickets.
Absolutely.
If that's not in the spirit of loose cannons, I don't know what is. I really don't.
No. Hit me up. Shoot me a DM. I'll take care of it. I'll send you the tickets. You get a parking pass on top of that. It's going to be amazing. It's Monday Night Football. If you guys haven't been to Raymond James over the last season or so, night games are phenomenal. They got fucking red lights that light up the entire freaking field. Unbelievable. Awesome. Monday night's going to be freaking crazy. The Bucs are going to be fucking jacked. Tom Brady's going to be fucking pissed. The rest of the team is going to be pissed. JPP is going to be fucking mad because he's always fucking mad. It's going to be a great game. I'm telling you guys.
Part of me wants to see how mad Tom Brady would be if we lost 3 games, and hearing Jenna and them have to ask him questions after a 3-game losing streak. This part of me, this is like the little evil, vindictive part of me wants to see.
No, shut up. Don't say stupid shit like that ever again. All right, or you're off the fucking show. It'll just be me, Jay-Buc, and Trevor from here on out. Trevor, you're part of the Loose Cannons now forever. Hey. Guys, everyone out there, thank you so much for watching this nonsense. Sorry for the glitch earlier. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Leave us a comment. You never know. If I like a comment enough, I'll just send you a fucking t-shirt. That's just how I'm. Very humble, very loving human being. Maybe I'll take care of your balls. Don't forget to check out our friends at For the Bay Clothing. Check out our friends at Bootleggers Brewing. If you're not going to the game, go there. Watch the game.
Trevor, you got to get one of these.
They have a projector outside.
That is a dope hat.
Projector inside.
That's For the Bay right there. That's For the Bay.
Wow, I'm giving love to our okay, yeah, okay.
And so am I.
Don't forget our friends Sauce and Wings. And, of course, the discount code BABYOIL at manscaped.com. 20% off, plus free shipping. Take care of your guys, all right? Hey, everybody out here, let's get deuces in the chat. Trevor, love you, man. Thanks for coming on. Go Bucs.
See y'all.